Hi, everybody. I'm a high school teacher. No. We're not wooing, we're not clapping. In no way are we validating my bad decisions. All right? Thank you. All of you who had no reaction, that is the proper reaction. Okay? You never know when fun things are going to happen when you're a high school teacher. The other day, I went into an ELL class, which is the kids who can't speak English. I thought I just have to substitute teach and let them play on their phones for an hour. Wrong. I got to the first name on the list, ISIS. Like the terrorist organization, all right? So I'm like, ISIS, they don't speak English, they don't understand what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm getting louder, I'm getting closer. I hadn't noticed the principal walked in right as I went up to these Middle Eastern kids and said, "Are you ISIS? Are you ISIS? Are you ISIS?" Yeah, I got to have a really fun meeting that day. I have problems with the kids who speak English as well. One of the kids came up to me the other day and said, "Mr. Noon, other kids say you look like the Lorax." Yeah, I did not need to know that. I know what we tell the kids, but sharing is not always caring. My school, I teach an inner city school, which is a nice way of saying the kids always want to punch each other. And next to my school, there's actually a zoo, and there's a fence that separates the zoo and the school. And I noticed the other day that there was a barbed wire on the school fence, and the barbed wire is on the school side. Yeah, it's not to protect the children. I'm a history teacher, which is fun as well. The other day I was teaching the kids about the Holocaust, and I said, Hitler killed 6 million Jews. And this one kid looked right at me and said, "That's not the worst thing that Hitler did." And I'm like, because I'm not that smart, I'm like, "What's the worst thing that Hitler did?" And this kid just looked right at me and said, "Hitler did your mom." Oh, yeah. So I'm sitting there, I'm of two minds, right? I have to decide two things. Number one, as a teacher, I've been horribly disrespected, right? But as a comedian, that is an amazing joke. So I'm just like, I just graduated him right there. I'm like, there's nothing more that I can teach you, young man. Oh, yeah. As I mentioned, a school is next to a zoo, and we have an animal mascot. All right, our school colors are black and orange. I'm going to do a little bit of audience participation, okay? So you guys just think of an animal that's black and orange. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and you guys are going to shout out the animal, okay? All right, so just think 1, 2, 3. Polar bear. Yeah, that confusion that you're feeling in your head right now, that's how I feel every day at school. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm glad that nobody screamed out Lorax, because that's happened at shows, too, because adults can sometimes be just as bad as kids. Oh. Anybody here over 25? Yeah, okay. You guys hate young people yet? Yeah, it happens to all of us, doesn't it? Not even for good reasons. Like, you just see like a person walking around without pain, and you get mad at them. Like, your joints don't work. You can eat things. It's just really bad. You make like references that they don't get, and you just get mad at them. Like, the other day I was working with somebody, and they said that they were in preschool when 9/11 happened. And I almost wanted to do a 9/11 on them. I got so angry. It's weird what causes Furious George to just come right out, you know? The older I get, the more I hate the young. I don't know what it is. I had to teach 9/11 the other day, and one of the kids was arguing with me because he knew all about 9/11 because he saw the movie Soul Plane. Yeah. I make fun of that kid, but I'm excited to teach him about feminism by having him watch the movie White Chicks. Yeah. I don't just work with kids, I also have kids of my own. Alright. No, we're not wooing. We're definitely not wooing that either. Every day I go into my daughter's room and I say, "Princess, it's time to get ready for school." And she just looks right at me and says, "Die in a hole." Oh yeah, it's so much fun raising a Massachusetts driver, let me tell you. My kids, we talk about the things that other kids talk about. We talk about it in different ways. Like my daughter and my son, they talk about divorce a lot. They're very concerned about because some divorces have happened to friends of theirs. But they don't call it divorce. They call it the quest for 2 Christmases. Yeah. My son, he's like a smaller version of me. And the other day he told me that he came up with a rap name for himself. I'm like, what is a smaller version of me? What's the rap name for that? And he says his rap name is Little Ritz. I was like, Little Ritz? Why is it Little Ritz? And he just looked at me, right at me and says, because I'm a tiny cracker. Yeah, there you go. He's getting old. He just turned 12, and 12 is an interesting age because he's Googling questions now, and all his questions either have to do with sex or Spider-Man. Some of them are the same questions. It's a little bit weird. Oh, my kids. We were driving in the car the other day, and I was driving with my 12-year-old son and my 15-year-old daughter, and we're driving in the car, and my 12-year-old, because he's asking questions, says, Dad, what's 69? For those of you who are worrying about this joke getting bad, don't worry, it gets so much worse. Because my 15-year-old is in the car as well, and she says, Dad doesn't know what 69 is because he's never done it. Oh, yeah. So I have to decide, I've been disrespected by a 15-year-old, right? So I have to show her that what she said was not respectful and should not have been said. But I'm also an adult, right? So I have to do it in a mature, responsible way. So I said the only thing I could. Yeah, I know what 69 is. I've done a lot with your mom. I don't know where these kids get their disrespect from. One of these days I'll figure it out. Oh, I'm excited to be in New Hampshire. The other day I was in New Hampshire, and I was doing a show in Portsmouth, and I was running to a show, and as I was doing it, somebody was yelling at their kid. They was like, Thaddeus, hurry up. And I was like, Thaddeus? I didn't know you guys had Game of Thrones characters in the state. Like, I knew New Hampshire was white, but I didn't know it was medieval white. That was a new one. I did that joke at another show after that, and somebody actually pulled out their wallet, and their name was Thaddeus on their license. I don't know what is happening in New Hampshire. Oh, I'm not from here. I'm from a town called Worcester, Massachusetts. Somebody said, yeah, no. We're not cool. Like, we stole a minor league ball team from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, okay? We are not cool. I know we're not cool because the other day my son's Nintendo DS broke, and I Googled places to get electronics fixed in Worcester, Massachusetts, and the first thing that came up was a Radio Shack. That closed in 2014, where you're not that cool. I make fun of Worcester, but it's fun to live in a town with 2.37 dispensaries for every man, woman, and child. Worcester, you don't have to be high to live there, but it helps. The other day I heard a very Worcester conversation. I was walking down Shrewsbury Street, which is one of our nicer streets. You can tell because that's where the good Little Caesars is. And as I was walking, I heard a very Worcester conversation. I heard somebody knocking on the door and said, "Let me in, I'm not a crackhead." Which is an important thing to say in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I didn't hear what the person inside said, but I heard what he said after she was done speaking. He said, "What, you expect me to do all this crack by myself?" And then somebody 2 doors down said, "I'll do that crack with you." And then the original person pulled him in, and that is a Worcester love story. I've seen amazing things in this town. The other day I saw, you know how the van and they have the cartoon characters with like the man, the woman, the dog, the kids? Yeah, okay. This one was a little bit different because on this van, where the dad had been, was scratched out, and there was a giant yellow sticker that said the word MILF. Yeah, I come from a magical place. All right, I'm gonna change tactics a little bit. Where my fatties at? Like one person kind of I feel like there's many people here who have a couple more pounds on them, and I think we should not be ashamed of that, all right? I think the thin people have made us been afraid for way too long. We fat people should be happier. The other day I went to a wedding, and one of the thin bridesmaids actually collapsed because she had forgotten to eat. Would that happen to us fat people? No, hell no. Fat power, fat power, fat power, fat power. It's all right that I was the only one doing that. Also, I teach fat acceptance, but my arm really hurts right now, and I think I need a nap. Oh. I'm older than some of the kids you're gonna see, some of the people are gonna see tonight, because you can probably tell, because as the kids say, white does crack. But I'm gonna do a little bit more audience participation, all right? I'm gonna tell a story, and you guys are gonna tell me if you think I'm telling the truth or not, all right? The other day I went to a store and I was carded. Show of hands, who believes me? Like one person. It's okay, I'm not mad, I can see me too. But I wasn't carded because I was buying alcohol, I was carded because I was buying Sudafed. Now show of hands, who believes me? Before I leave stage, I always want to know 2 things. Number 1, who think I'm young, and number 2, who thinks I do meth. You guys have been an awesome audience. Thank you.
Keep it going for Mr. Newton, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. Man. Thaddeus in New Hampshire. You know, New Hampshire people, we do talk down to people. I talk down to people all the time, but I'm from Nashville. That's just what we do.